Right. So I want us to begin from there. So we talked about the effects of anoxia that usually occur during the birth process. And here we were able to mention some of the points here. It may lead to mental disability. It may lead to physical disability. Remember that when we talk about the anoxia, it's a condition where the blood does not, rather, the oxygen does not reach the brain tissues, especially during the birth process. And this may happen as a result of prolonged labor, where the mother has tried, the child has tried, both of them are tired. It may now lead to this anoxia. It may also cause blindness. Apart from that, it may also cause permanent brain damage. And as a result of that, it may lead to some of the unwarranted conditions like the cerebral palsy and even epilepsy. Therefore, we need to be very keen, especially when a mother has already started experiencing the labor pain. When it is prolonged so much, it may lead to this anoxia that may eventually lead to some of these conditions that, some of these effects that we have mentioned. I will skip the ego and the because I did not capture that, but I will capture them. I like 6 ways in which impairment may negatively affect a preschool child in achieving the rights to education. Because of impairment, there could be a possibility of exclusion from the mainstream, where these children, they are not accepted because of the impairment. And this may also be the nature of the impairment that the child is having. There are some of the impairments that a person can have that even when we talk about inclusion, they don't work at all. We talk about bullying in the learning environment, especially among the peers. Of course, the too rigid curriculum that does not, that is not flexible enough to accommodate these learners with disabilities and even the impairments. Of course, there is elimination when calculating the mean scores. Remember, when we have been talking about the 844, in the 844, when in a class, you realize you have to calculate the mean, and most of the times, these learners with disabilities are used as excuses. And therefore, at the end of it, their names are eliminated. They are removed from the list when you are calculating the mean scores. There is a possibility of lack of qualified teachers to take care of these children's educational needs, and also rejection by parent and stigmatization, where the parent looks at the child as the parent looks at the child as a shame, somebody who brings shame to the family, and therefore they are denied that access to learning. They are supposed to be kept at home while their peers are learning in school. We also talked about ways in which a special needs education teacher can enhance attention in children with special needs. This question is a repetition because we had talked about it some time back, just in this area. You can break the tasks into manageable pieces, break the task into pieces, and then you can also adjust time frame, such that if a task is supposed to take 30 minutes for learners, for the regular learners, then you can add even 10 minutes up to accommodate these learners with the special needs and impairments. You can also vary the teaching and learning methods. How you teach must be varied. The teaching and learning methods must be different diversity to accommodate these learners. Then using a variety of attractive learning resources. And while you are teaching as a teacher, you should try as much as possible to, of course, vary your tone while you are teaching. That is tonal variation during teaching. We also talked about the individual differences, how these individual differences in learners with special needs may affect learning in a classroom. We are talking about location and sociometric status. A learner who comes from a well-to-do family, a rich family, will have a lot when it comes to education. That is not just emotional support, but also material support, as compared to a child who comes from an abject poverty family, where even a pencil, the stationaries may be a challenge to acquire when going to school. So because of this, the sociometric status, you realize that it affects learning, especially where there is now a big gap between those who come from well-to-do family and those who come from abject poverty. Also, the environmental influences. Think about a child who comes from a home where there is, where parents are all Christians, and another child who comes from a home where everyone is a drug addict, including the other siblings. So because of this environmental influence, the child who comes from the drug influenced family will have challenges coping up and even fitting in the education system, because the character traits that he carries may also be may portray who his parents are and who the other neighbors within the home in general is. So the environmental influences, and then the learning disabilities, like we talk about in a class where you are having learners with dyslexia, learners with dysgraphia, and you want to you want to attend to all of them. These differences are also going to affect the learning and also anxieties, especially during tests. And you may also realize that some of the best learners within the classroom, some may be even the gifted and talented, but because of anxiety and overconfidence during the tests, you realize that they do not always turn to be the best because of the anxieties. And then we also have the gender aspect, where there is a belief that does not hold water, that boys do well in in the examination. Boys do well in mathematics and sciences, while girls do well in languages. There has not been tangible proof to present on the table, validate the statements that I've just mentioned as per gender. And therefore, even that statement alone brings the individual differences. In as much as you may talk about inclusion within the classroom, you realize that the individual differences are still going to be there. Jacqueline, I've seen, we have talked about the first point on the socio location and the sociometric status. And I've given two examples in comparison: a child who comes from a very rich family and a child who comes from abject poverty, derailed family. You realize that when it comes to access to education, The one who comes from a high class will have almost all the materials that is needed when it comes to academic work. But the one who comes from an abject poverty home or family will struggle a lot. And when you compare the two, you realize that they are now in these differences that are brought about by their sociometric status. And as a result, this is going to affect learning, meaning in one way, the one who comes from poverty, abject poverty home may be reduced to a beggar within the classroom, and they may wait for somebody to finish the asaidiwe kalamu. And this is going to affect learning. Suppose the teacher was giving dictation. Are you sure that is going to manage writing, putting what the teacher is dictating on time? Then you realize that now the difference there is going to affect learning. I want us to look at number 3. I want us to look at number 3. That is question number 3A. That is examine 8 advantages. Examine 8 advantages. Examine 8 advantages of guidance and counseling to the learners. Examine 8 advantages of guidance and counseling to the learners. Examine the advantages. Actually, there are 8 advantages of guidance and counseling to the learners. What is the importance of offering guidance and counseling to the learners? If we raise our hands, we will move very fast. Yes, Corretti.
Guidance and counseling may help the learner in choosing subject selection, maybe in case of high school.
I did not get you.
It helps the learner in choosing subject selection. Yeah.
Right, in the subject selection in career. Thank you very much. 0686.
Pascal.
Yes, just carry on.
It helps in reducing maladaptive behaviors.
It helps in reducing maladaptive behavior, behaviors which are not acceptable, rather which are not accepted at all. It increases their self-esteem, very true, Mwangi. It also enables the learner to cope with the new environment, very true, Lena. And it also helps the learner to develop self-esteem, that we have also mentioned. Someone else? Yes, Fildema.
It also helps the learners to find solutions to their problems.
It helps the learners to get solutions for their problems. Thank you very much. It also helps the learner to live in harmony with others. That is now what we call the tolerance. The tolerance, the classroom tolerance, or the school tolerance. Zedi Ropes, Zedi.
To help the learner improve performance academically.
Improve its performance academically. It also helps in self-awareness, hence can cope with challenges. It also helps the learner in career choosing, I think that we have mentioned. Yes, Anne, and then Rosaida. Anne?
Yeah, I think it has been mentioned they are able to deal with day-to-day life challenges. And also it helps them reduce anxiety.
Reduce anxiety. Anxiety. Remember, one of the problems we had seen up there was anxiety, especially during the test. Rosaida.
In case of those learners who feel rejected in the community or from the environment, they feel appreciated by those people who are counseling them.
Right. It makes the learners to also feel appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is 0686. Yuan is still up.
Oh, let me light.
It also helps the learners to know about their potentials, and it also enables the youth to be aware of educational and occupational opportunities available. It helps the learners, it prepares the learners for the future roles, prepares the learners for the future roles. Thank you. I don't want us to keep rotating around that question. Because of time, let's look at question 3B, Roman 1. 3B Roman 1 says that explain the term family counseling. 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 Family counseling.
Could it be the counseling given to a family or with special children?
Right. Let me ask a simple question. Let me ask a simple question. I think before we answer question B, Roman 1, let us answer question B, Roman 2. Ndio tuone, identify 5 areas in which family therapy is most useful. So both the word family counseling and family therapy are used interchangeably. So areas that is family therapy most useful, or which areas in a family may need counseling services. Yes,
Raising
Salome.
our children.
Raising of children, very true. Raising of the children, that is on the parenting styles or parenting. Somebody has talked about divorce. I think that will put under marital issues or marital challenges. Domestic violence between husband and wife. Adolescents, yes. Sicknesses, especially, yes, there is sicknesses, then there is chronic illness, terminal child's conditions. They are not over, they are not over. And some of these problems we have in our families, death, family tree, death of a family member.
Out of genetic counseling.
Yes.
Genetic counseling. On the family before issues of having children, maybe you are being cancelled.
Yes.
On phonetics. You go first for test.
Right. Drug addiction issues or alcoholic issues. I can see psychological and emotional issues, inheritance issues, the moral or the acceptable behavior issues within the family. In case of a special needs child, very true. Yes, Edwin.
Yes, Pascal.
Yes.
I can talk about financial issues, how they handle their finances. That one also requires counseling, whereby yes, au unapata baba anafanya kazi ama maybe mama pia anafanya kazi, kila mtu anatumia pesa yake kivyake, so they should be counseled on how they handle their finances. And before I get back to you, Pascal.
Yes.
Naona ikifika saa 4 huwa watu wanatoka mapema sana. Saizi there are 90 people and it is 9:30. We still have some 30 more minutes. Allow me to address the issue of the welfare, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yes, kindly let's do that ndio tuendelee. Ile saa ya saa 4 ikifika, watu wataenda kama washaokoka. Saizi unajua saizi bado tunahubiri. So it's just a polite reminder to those who have not done something. I can see the list is moving. We are at number 28 right now. And right now the class is 90 people. So 90 when I subtract 28, it tells me that we are around 62 people, if I'm not wrong. Excluding Pascal, now we are 61. So it's just a polite reminder. If you've seen your name is not there, please let's try and do something. And Pascal, thank you for being prompt by posting your number. So if there's somebody who is new, the gospel that we are preaching is the gospel of Zoom. The Zoom that we are using is a free-to-air Zoom, whereby the members suggested we contribute a minimum of 100 shillings, but you can do more than that. I will really thank God for that. This minimum of 100 shillings is for keeping this our Zoom running, and it's paid monthly, not weekly. So these 100 shillings you pay on a monthly basis to keep our free-to-air Zoom running. What is free-to-air Zoom? This is a Zoom whereby we can use it without any distractions. Yes. Yes, I'm getting you, Kifuma.
Just make it brief ya kwamba people should at least send something to Pascal so that he can cater for the Zoom and also his time, because some of us don't have time to go and search for these questions and the answers. So Pascal is doing a lot.
Thank you, my brother, for simplifying.
Just make it brief that way. When you go class, at least they were wajibike, because at the end of the day, this guy, he needs also data to go and do research and get the correct answers for our class.
I'm listening to you plus 90 other people. Thank you. Back to you, Pascal.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ogada. I think from there now, I will update with time. I will now update those who are going to send later. So if you are going
Pascal,
to send,
Pascal.
Yes.
Now that mambo na time iko natuacha, because we are almost there, and maybe we have not yet covered the other papers. What is your plan? Will you mind using maybe the other formula? Tunaingia class, you post the question and the answers.
I think yes. Yeah, I think with time we love to go that way so that we can so that we can at least cover a given content that we ought to cover before the time catches up with us. Sio iko sawa?
Poa.
Those that are saying that they also did the payments and they are not able to see their names, I will update a refined list, and you will be able to see it. So don't worry, I will do that. Now, so we were looking at areas in which family therapy is most useful. Areas that families may need guidance and counseling. We have just mentioned a few, and I just want to remind us that these problems that you are seeing in the families where you come from, do not look at somebody's family. These challenges are different, but you realize that the ones that are facing your family are the ones that your family may need family therapy or family guidance and counseling. So when we talk about family guidance and counseling, it is not based on the child with disability. I want that to stick into your mind well. It is not based on the child with the disability only. Remember, there are families that do not have children with disabilities, and there are issues that needs proper and serious guidance and counseling, of which, if not done, then you realize that that family is going to be broken apart. Talk about the marital issues there. Somebody in the family is unfaithful, somebody in the family is not honest, things like that. So that is when we are referring to the areas that needs guidance and counseling within the family. Now, explain the term family counseling. I think we now get back there. Yes, your responses explain now the term family counseling. Remember that question, we have just tackled a bit of it in in question 3B Roman 2. Oh, Edwin, is this your hand? Is it still up, or you did not lower it?
Oscar,
Yes.
mimi ningeandika, si tungeandika. Ningesema this is the help that is extended to the family to enable them cope with the issues in marriage.
Help extended to some family to help them deal with the issues in the marriage. Remember, it is 6 marks.
Lakini utapata hizi tatu. Ukisema ukitu utapata tatu.
Pascal.
Yes.
I think it is the type of counseling that is given to the family members to enable them improve communication and solve their conflicts. And it is not necessarily done by the family members, it can be done by the church members, the doctors, the physiotherapists.
Right. Do you think you qualify for 6 marks?
3.
All right. It is good that yes.
Na kwa nini kwanza wameweka hii family counseling in quotes? Yani inamaanisha nini?
Just the way you look at it, it is just that counseling that is given towards the family. But now this question, when you are dealing with this question wants you to it wants you to think, not only giving the explanation or the meaning of the term family counseling, but you should go ahead and even list some of the challenges that may need to be the counseling in the family.
Sasa tuseme for example, useme kwa 3 pon ueleze.
Yes.
For example, uende sasa kwa issues to be solved through guidance and counseling in the family, like that family tree. Ueleze kuhusu hiyo. Genetic counseling useme kwa kitu kuhusu ama.
Yeah, I'm going to show you an a good example down here when we reach to that slide. Yes. Identify 5 that we have talked about. Now, tunaingia katika theories. Discuss the humanistic model for behavior management according to Abraham Maslow. According to Abraham Maslow. Behavior management. Yes, Akifuma. Akifuma, your hand is up. Please respond. Oh, the hand has been lowered.
I just raised my hand. I mistakenly raised my hand.
Okay, Sawa. You mistakenly raised your hand, huh? Right. And
yeah, they want us to explain that, Cindy.
Yes, and it is 10 marks.
Now, they one thing they believe that behaviors are controlled by internal factors, and they focus on a learner as a whole, and they also believe in human freedom, dignity, and also the goal of their main goal is to develop a self-actualized person in a supportive and I think cooperative environment.
Wow, that's a good explanation. It's a good explanation. And yeah, okay, you have just stopped. Now, I want us to be very categorical when we are talking about these theories. And as I'm going to show you down here on the humanistic model of behavior management according to Abraham Maslow, it is a theory that stands again on its own when we talk about the behavior. Edwin.
Okay, Pascal, I can say.
Yes.
According to Abraham Maslow's, I can say that people are motivated to achieve their needs. People are motivated to achieve their needs. That's according to Abraham Maslow's. That's what I can say.
That is very true. Like some of us here were promised TSC employment by the time they were joining college. Then after the graduation, they saw dust. I don't know whether that was a reality. Somebody who can confirm that here?
Repeat.
There are people who train, there are teachers here in this platform. There are those who train By the time they were joining college, they were told that you go work hard. The moment you graduate, you will get TSC direct, TSC employment. But the moment they graduated, those who promised them the TSC employment do not even pick their phone calls. In other words, they were being motivated to go and work hard in the college. And then now they come and face life. Is there somebody who had such nice packages of promises while they were joining college here?
And promotion after KISE.
Oh, some have been, some, yes.
Becoming deputies after KISE.
Then after KISE, once you graduate, Nambiwa, my friend, that was to encourage you to work hard so that you can achieve. So according to humanistic theory, human beings are when they are rewarded, or rather when they are appreciated, when there is something good that has been promised to them, they will work hard to make sure that they achieve it. Even in your classroom, as a behavior management, when you say that at the end of the day, you are giving 2 sweets to those that did not make noise in class, the regular noisemakers will try as much as possible, just even in one day, to make sure that they get the sweets.
Pascal.
Yes.
Hata juzi, we are in a season of politics. Wacha nisonge kando kidogo. Whatever happened in Azimio, Kalonzo was in Switzerland, Uhuru too was in Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no M-Pesa, it was cash only. Okay, don't worry from there.
Why are you there? Why are you there?
Let's carry
on.
Si watu wamekuwa Switzerland juzi.
Let's carry on.
Pascal.
Yes.
Pascal.
Yes, Akifuma, you are seriously breaking.
Pascal.
Yes.
Pascal. Remove the boy from this class. Remove him.
Akifuma to
remove Ogada. Remove from this class.
Tusonge ni mbele. We have talked about just a bit of a humanistic model, and we are going to look at that down here. Examine 5 ways a special need education teacher will use the first level of Abraham Maslow humanistic model to manage learners with EBD.
Yeah, Pascal, allow me to ask.
Yes.
The pyramid, which is the first one now? Is it from down upwards or from upwards going downwards? Which is the first one?
Down upwards.
Very true.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, so examine 5 ways a special needs education teacher will use the first level of Abraham Maslow humanistic model rather to manage learners with EBD. Judy is talking about physiological needs. That is the basic survival needs. Yes, James.
Well, thank you. I think this is the level where the learner may be exhibiting some EBDs because of lack of those basic needs.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, the teacher can use that to first of all identify what is causing the EBD. If it is the food that is lacking at home, probably there can be some arrangements so that the learners can have these meals at school, maybe porridge or school lunch, so that the behavior difficulty that is coming as a result of lack of these basic needs gets addressed. I think, according to me, that is how I would look at it.
Okay, that is on the survival needs aspect, or the needs aspect, right? The child needs rest, sleep, good nutrition, clothed well, good health, also good health check, and also medication when sick. That is when sick. That is from Judy. Yes.
Still on that, on the we were talking about the first level of Abraham Maslow's.
Yes.
Okay, you find the basic needs. That's the psychological needs. That's where we have the psychological needs. And I think that's where we have rest, we have water, we
physiological, Ogada, not psychological.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Correction accepted. Okay. So when we talk about the physiological needs as it is, I think that's where we have the basic needs like food, water, even rest is also there. So you may engage this learner with the EBD in various exercises. So unamweka na kazi mingi sana until the learner gets tired, so that after that he or she may require some rest. So that's what I had in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet.
I'm thinking of clothing the child, let's say, depending with the weather. When the weather is warm, clothing the child with light clothes, and when the weather is cold, clothing them with the warm clothes.
Okay.
Hey, did you hear me, Pascal? Did you get me?
Very well, very well.
Okay.
Sasa kuna kitu akifuma anauliza, mimi sijui inatoka wapi.
Kwa swali yangu ate?
Hapana, soma hapa, anasema sasa hapo sex iko wapi? Mimi nashangaa hii imetoka wapi?
Sex, I think, is in the nini. It is in the second level where we have psychological needs. That's where we have intimate relationship and friends. That's where I think sex is.
Now I know why you have mastered that part.
Aki Ogada, your network, man.
That is a
not my network. That one is a Kifuma's network who is using telco.
Okay.
Another thing.
Yes, Josephine.
When we are talking about EBD, for example, let us take an autistic child who is maybe having experience in such kind of EBDs. Unajua, food can also be an issue there. So we are supposed to look at what type of foods to give them. We are not supposed to give them foods with gluten, yenye itafanya wawe more aggressive. You have to check on that. Another thing, you also have to check on whether ako, comfortable in such a way that kwenye yako, is he acceptable with the kind of friends in yako now, so that you are ready. If he's not comfortable enough, you find out why, and then you make the child comfortable. Maybe in class, is he accepted? Have they known that akona hii issue na hii? You have to make the desks comfortable for the child. The learning environment also comfortable for the child. That is my take.
Okay. Right, so that is on the Maslow. That is both for question 4A and B. And now I want us to look at the meaning of the following terms as used in behavior management. Remember, in our last, in the last Knec paper, we looked at there was discipline. There was the term discipline, and we were able to stroke it with the disobediency. Now, today, I want us to look at truancy. Now, before we answer the question, something is missing here. In this number 5A, something is missing. Let me just indicate. That is 10 marks. This question 5 at 5A at 10 marks. That means truancy had 5 marks, and delinquency had 5 marks. So can we now begin there? What is truancy?
Deliberate absence.
Juliet?
Deliberate absence from duty or from class.
Deliberate absence, duty, or class. Okay, and now Josephine, will that one add you 5 marks?
Mtu asaidie.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about mine, staying away from school for no apparent reason. And I know that is not even 2 marks.
Now, for example, deliberate absence from duty or from work, and for example, being away from school, unakuta mtoto mwenye maybe for example, coming to school today, taking 2 days off, coming school for another day, taking 1 week off for no apparent reason. You hata ni half a month.
Now, Pascal,
Yes.
when we use deliberate absenteeism from work or school, so this means even teachers can have truancy, right? Or any worker.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm having some truancy here.
Pascal.
Yeah, Edwin.
Yes, I may say that truancy, it may enhance moral decay. And that one is going to cause, to make the person is affected to get into various practices. These practices may be, it may be a nuisance to the society. That's all I can say.
Anthony.
Yes, Pascal. Am I audible?
Very.
Thank you. Let me fight for the 2 marks.
There are 5 marks.
I want to fight for my 2 marks under truancy by saying that it is being away from school with no apparent reasons or without any justifiable reasons. Then I go ahead and say that if truancy continues or if it persists, then it may lead to school dropouts and other negative behaviors. I think I'm now satisfied with 2 marks. Thank you.
Pascal.
Yes.
Let me try.
Please.
I can say that truancy is whereby a learner stay away from school without a reason, and he loiters around or wanders without without just loiters around, like for example, going to areas where we have drugs, and later on, this can lead to a dropout. Also, truancy can be caused by maybe when the school environment is not the school environment, and maybe the school environment is not favorable to this learner, so it can lead to truancy. That's how I can explain it.
Now, Pascal.
Yes.
Let me also try. Truancy is when a learner misses lessons in school for no apparent reason, and that particular learner is not at home. Truancy can be as a result of maybe harsh environment in class caused by the specific subject teacher, or as a result of learning difficulties that makes a learner to have negative attitude towards education. Truancy can also be as a result of bullying in class that makes a learner fear being in class. If truancy persists, a learner will end up dropping in performance or even dropping out of school. Even though we ningesema. Because truancy is when a learner, mtoto amekuja shule but haingii darasa, anajificha ficha tu. It's different from absenteeism, because absenteeism, a learner can be absent and the learner is at home or in a hospital. But truancy, jamaa ametoka nyumbani, mzazi anajua kwa shule, kumbe hajaingia shule, amejificha tu.
Anaweza ingia asubuhi na atoke break, si lazima akose fika.
Sasa kwa walimu na apply wapi hiyo truancy?
Kwa walimu anaingia na aingi darasa na ama
darasa ama anatoka
anaweza fika na aende kufanya biashara yake. Kama
na
wale
kwanza anapitia kwa kiroro, si ndio? Akishachapa kiroro ana make
wale walikuwa wanacheza
anarudi kwa kiroro.
I don't want to mention.
I can say that truancy among the staffs can be a teacher has come to school, hajaomba permission but is away from duties na inafanyika several times.
Sana majamaa wa kiroro.
Kwanza
hata wale wa mapenzi, watu wanahepa tu shule kwenda kufanya mapenzi na kurudi baadaye. Sio kiroro peke yake.
Mbona lazima ungesema hiyo?
Wacha niwaambie example moja. Hello?
Toa mfano. Na usikose kutoa mfano, usikose kuweka ndani Ogada.
Naomba nani ruhusa.
Ogada lesson zake za kise zote za jioni zilikuwa na truancy nyingi sana.
Sasa.
Yes, Josephine.
School truancy. It's true. I used to see him mara kwa class, mara hayuko. Huyu ndio lana tunaongelea saa hii.
Kuna mwenye anasema kama walimu anaingia anasema ako darasa hayuko, iko vile amelipa wengine wamfanyie kazi, huku amesign nako accident ilipatikana na alikuwa nyuma ya pickup, amebeba waru anapeleka soko. Ilikuwa ni hapo na hapo. Wakati maofisa walikuwa wanakuja shule kuangalia, alikuwa present mpaka Friday. Alisha kuwa present. Na that was on a Tuesday. Alisha sign. Sasa hii kazi ya Mungu tufanye tu na roho moja.
Right. We cannot talk about truancy.
Pascal.
Yes.
Let me ask. Mtu akiomba ruhusa, yeye ni truant, because mimi kila wakati nikitoka jioni nilikuwa naomba ruhusa yule mwalimu mwenye yuko ndani. Mbona anasema mimi nilikuwa truant?
Ogada huko aiomba ruhusa bwana. Ulikuwa naomba nani ruhusa na sisi wenyewe tulikuwa tunaona ukiomba ruhusa.
Muga si nilimuomba ruhusa.
Ulimwomba ruhusa ya kwenda kujisaidia. Uliomba yeye ruhusa ya kwenda kujisaidia, sio kwenda nje kukaa nje ya shule.
Pascal, time imefika.
Now,
Ruhusa ni ruhusa.
now,
Pascal.
Yes.
Pascal. Next time nisiona Ogada anabeba duster, alitusumbua sana duster yake na whiteboard marker. Ndio tunataka kusoma anatoka na duster, hatuwezi futa ubao.
Now, this is what I want us to do because of time. Tomorrow, we will finish this bit that we are doing tomorrow, and then we will begin what I'm showing on the screen. That is 2014. Kesho lazima tumalize the year that we are finishing with, and after that we will begin looking at the 2014. So I want us to keep time. Tomorrow we'll start by exactly 9. By exactly 9, please keep time so that we can cover what is necessary. I want us to pray. Then there are those who wanted me to show them some slides.
Excuse me, Pascal.
Yes.
So if we are setting by exactly 9, what time should we start logging in? Is your name?
Nitaifungua 10 minutes early.
Okay.
So watu watakuwa wanaingia exactly 9, we will be offering our prayer and then we start. Let me ask somebody here to offer us the closing prayer. I don't know who that will be. Josephine.
Yes.
Ukituombea si tutabarikiwa sana.
Haya, wacha tu Mungu ataleta baraka na tutapita na by distinction sisi wote. Tuombe.
Amina.
We glorify your holy name, Jehovah. You are worthy to be worshipped. You are worthy to be praised. Thank you, King of Kings, for forgiving us our sins, for giving us another chance to be alive today. We thank you for the gift of life, for the gift of peace, for the gift of freedom. We thank you for the gift of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we are getting from you. You continue showering us with it, Lord.
Pascal, me, I can't hear anything.
Hata mimi.
God is hearing. Amen.
Pascal.
I didn't know you were praying, guy.
Yani amukuona mulini mute na ninaomba alafu mnasema msikie anything.
Haki tu kusikia, mimi sijasikia, lakini naona tu niseme ukweli. Ukisema amen, shangae mbona watu wasemi amen.
Josephine, you must have muted yourself.
Let us pray now. We glorify your holy name, Jehovah. We thank you for everything. Thank you for whatever we've learned. Thank you for the gift of peace and love. Thank you for everything. We depend on you, the gift of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And with you, Jehovah, we know we'll never be last, as you are number one forever. Protect us as we are going to part in body, but in spirit, join us together. With us, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Josephine.
Huh?
Umewahi omba wakati uko kwa kitanda unataka kulala?
It's your birthday. kitanda.
Amen, huwa unasema the following day ukiamka.
Siwezi lala kwa kitanda, siwezi omba nikiwa kwa kitanda. Sisi tulikuwa tunapiga magoti ukiomba na mpaka kila mtu aseme amen. After kusoma lesson, sijui kama unajuanga hiyo kitabu.
Najua kuna siku moja rafiki yangu fulani ameomba akilala. Mpaka amen tulisema the following day.
Pascal.
Naweza sema ukiwa mchari ushangae. Usiombange ukilala.